Hey guys, so welcome to another episode of WoW Weekly with Myst. For this week, the only news I have for you guys is on retail side. I have absolutely nothing for you guys as far as Classic is concerned. So we are gonna skip the Classic. I'm gonna have no Classic gameplay in this video, and we're not gonna have that section that we normally go to after retail. It will just be this. So let's get started. So for starters, the new weekly events for this week are gonna be, it's gonna be dungeons, so that means mythics, 4 mythics then. And the WoW 15th anniversary is still in effect. It'll be in effect till January 7th, so you still have tons of time to get everything done for that. I do have some guides on the event stuff. I'll link it in the description if you need some help or you just want to watch it for the hell of it. The PvP brawl is going to be the comp stomp for this week. Also, we have on Sunday, Dark Moon Fair will start up. That is going to be a great little boost to the WoW 15th, assuming it stacks. But I'm pretty sure it will, but don't quote me. We'll find out on Sunday. But assuming that buff stacks, that applied to your 15% that you get from the WoW anniversary, be a really great week to level alts and stuff. And the final thing coming this week is Pilgrim Bounty. It'll actually already be started because it starts on Monday, which is the day this uploads, so it will already be in effect when you watch this video. And that's a great one if you haven't done it. As far as I've seen so far for this year, there's no new items and all that. So as far as stuff you can get, if you get all the achievements, you get a chicken pet. Also, like 5 years ago, they added a new pet, which was the frightened bush chicken. And so you can get that. And that one's found in the Pilgrim Bounty, which is a reward you get from doing the dailies. There's also a toy. It's called the Silver-Plated Turkey Shooter. You could get your hands on that. It has a 5-minute cooldown, covers any target with a bunch of turkey feathers, and that is also found in the Pilgrim Bounty, which is a daily reward. Okay, so that concludes what is going on for this week's weekly events. For my goals, I didn't really set any goals last week because I've been so up and down with WoW lately. I feel like I'm feeling a little better. You know, it took me pretty much going to another game to reappreciate WoW, but you know, I've had my little breaks here and there. I've been playing a little more of my PlayStation, and yeah, I think that's kind of what I needed. I think after 15 years of solidly playing, and now that I've been solidly playing a horrible expansion, I think I just needed a little, break from WoW. And I won't say we really took a break. I was still playing it every day, but for an hour or two, I would go occasionally to the PlayStation and play something. So I do feel better. I'm still not happy that, they're doing the level squish among many other things in Shadowlands. And yeah, still not happy about it, but I feel a little better. Before I was like, fuck this, I'm quitting. And yeah, like, so we're good. I just don't know how much Shadowlands is going to get from me. The last time I had a bad feeling, we got BFA, and I have a bad feeling, like, without even hearing more on it. Unless they remove the level squish, I'm going to always have a bad feeling. I just don't think they can execute the level squish. It's what it comes down to. But on the topic of not liking changes, here's the kicker. Here was the one that pretty much put me in the mood of, you know what, fuck this game, I'm done. So the recent news that has a lot of people upset is that the mighty caravan Britosaur is gonna be gone in Shadowlands. For those unaware of what this is, if you play WoW, you've seen people on it. Maybe not a whole lot of people, but you've seen some people on it. It's a big, a big Britosaur that has an auction house attached to it. Very expensive mount. It costs 5 million gold. That's why you don't see a whole lot of them around. Not everyone has 5 million gold to throw to a mount, or even has 5 million gold to begin with. So this was blue posted. They are indeed removing this. It's not removed forever. It is going to the black market house, or the black market auction house. Some people seem to think that it's going to be easy. I'm going to tell you right now, as someone who tries to get stuff off the black market often, it won't be easy. It will not be easy unless you have the time to sit there from the time you put your auction in to roughly 12 hours later. That is the only way you can win something that rare. You have to literally be in-game watching your auction and make sure you win. You do not log out before, right? Because that's how I've lost a lot of them. It's, because who has the time to do that, right? The black market auction house is not a good method. So I know some people are like, well, that might be great. It might actually make it cheaper than 5 mil. It won't. It'll actually make it more expensive, because since you won't see that mount very often, because it's not like you open up the black market and every mount that's, only available in the black market's listed. No, it doesn't work that way. There's literally 3 or 4 items per day. Sometimes a mount isn't even in those 3 or 4 items. So you really gotta be looking at the market constantly to find the day that it's available. And people are gonna want that. And at that time, who knows, might be even easier to make money in Shadowlands, which means that mount could be higher than 5 mil, because the way it goes is it's a bid. It's whatever amount the last bidder put before it ends. And yeah, I do not see you being able to get that for cheaper. I see it being tougher to find, because you can't just go to the vendor anymore. And then I also see you not seeing it very often. And, just to state it, I do share in your pissed offness if you are mad about this, because I think this is a stupid move. Removing something, this is a goal for a lot of people. A lot of people can't afford this, and it's a goal down the road, and it's one of those things that when you get it, you feel great. You feel like you really worked hard towards something, and they're taking that away from us. They're taking a satisfaction of, earning that. Because the reality is you'll have some people that don't give a shit about it. You'll have some people that care but don't care that much. And then you'll have the people that truly want it, which is me. I've I was trying to tell myself, I'm like, whatever, I don't care. But I do. But I will not fall into Blizzard's trap. I fully believe that this is a trap to boost token sales. Like, there's no other reason for this. To remove an auction house mount, there's absolutely no reason to do that. So it is for sure to boost token sales. And I refuse to spend, was it like 500, somewhere between 500 to 700 to have that much gold. So my goal, and this is why we're not going to really make any goals, because I have a huge goal here, but my goal is to gold farm that shit before Shadowlands releases. So I do want it, but I don't want to, like, I just can't afford to spend $500 on a mount. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who can do that? But I'm going to do my best to gold farm. So that is an option for you guys if you are upset, but you want to try to get it. Gold farming is an option. It's not easy to do, though. There's a reason why I periodically do it. I'm not new to the gold farm, but I'm not consistent with it. You know, like, I'll find something I want one month and I'll be like, okay, it's gold farm month, and then I just don't care for like a year, and then I'll come back, and you know, and I just don't stay consistent with it because it's a lot of work. Basically, the math on this is that in order to, you know, if you're starting from scratch, in order to be able to have enough, you would need to be making roughly 20K a day, right? And crafting is the best way to make money, but it's still going to be rough, and you have to be committed to it. You really do. You know, like, this isn't something that you just say, I'm going to make some money, and then you go not play the game for a month. Like, you have to be committed to it, or else you will end up buying tokens at the end. You know, but my personal advice is if you're like me and you don't care about having it right away, but you do definitely want it before Shadowlands, then just gold farm whatever you can. And then when they give us a release date on Shadowlands, that's when you go buy it if you have enough, or that's when you add tokens in. But at least if you're willing to do that much up to that point, then you're not blowing a shitload of money on tokens, right? If you were to do it right now, you'd probably be spending $500 on tokens, which is a lot of money, and it's what they want. Like, I'm so sure it's to boost those token sales. Because I think they think what I'm thinking, you know, and I think they think that Shadowlands is going to flop and this is their security net, right? And I've had a bad feeling about Shadowlands ever since they announced it. So I definitely think this is their shadow or their security net. You know, they didn't make one with BFA, so it makes sense that they would make one with this one. So, yeah. So now just to go over my math so that you guys are kind of seeing where I'm getting numbers from. 20K a day, times that by 30. That means that if you do keep up with your 20K a day, you will earn 600,000 a month. Okay, so you have two choices at this point. So 600,000 times 8 months will get you 4.8 million. Or you got 600,000 times 9 months, which will get you 5.4 million. Now, the bad part is the 9 months is really cutting it short. So at that point, you definitely want to know when is Shadowlands actually coming out. And at that point, we would roughly know, but you probably want to hope for a September release. I'm thinking that the 8 months is a better one to go by, and then maybe just buy a token. Maybe just buy, 1 or 2 tokens to get it to the 5 mil. But as you can see, even if you're making 20,000 a day, this is a really tough, situation. It will not be easy to make 5 million gold. You really do need to be making more than 20K a day. But if you're just starting out in the gold farm world, and definitely when you're going after something this pricey, that 20K is a good starting point. Who knows? Maybe every so often you'll sell something that's, a crazy amount, and it kind of, puts you a little ahead, right? You never know. But definitely, if you are going after this, you want to be making at least that as a minimum. So yeah, not an easy task, like I've mentioned multiple times here. It is not easy. If you're a casual player, you might as well just buy the tokens, if you really want it that bad, because this is not a task for a casual player. You need to be consistently logged in, consistently crafting items, farming items, work in the auction house, constant. Like, yeah, you can't just go farm some dungeons and hope to get 20K. You definitely have to work the auction house. Okay, so the vendor that sells the auction house mount also sells a pet and another mount. It has been blue posted as well that those ones will remain available in Shadowlands. So it is only the auction house mount that is not going to remain available off that vendor. But I just thought I'd put it out here in case, maybe you already have the auction house mount and you're like, oh yeah, I totally forgot those items are over there. And, you want to go pick them up. Here you go. So here is the pet, Lost Platosaur. This pet vendors for 100,000 gold. And then the other mount is the Reigns of the Palehide Direhorn. And this one goes for 500,000 gold. So definitely a lot cheaper than the auction house mount. So long story short, you do not have to worry about affording the pet and the Direhorn. Work towards the auction house mount first, and then you can go buy those other 2 if you'd like. Okay, so anyway, enough on that one. Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section regarding how you feel with the removal of the auction house mount. Next up, we have Dottie, the baby alpaca. We saw this one at BlizzCon. This is a charity pet, and I imagine it is gonna show up soon. They tend to like to do these around Christmas time. So this charity pet may be hitting up the stores fairly quick. And yeah, all the purchases go to Make-A-Wish Foundation. I've always really enjoyed these. This is exactly how Whomper was when he was available to buy. He was last year's charity pet. And yeah, I love that they do these little Make-A-Wish Foundation things. So as far as price, it'll be the same as the pets always are, $10. And as for when, There is no confirmed date, but my guess is, well, let's see when Wamper went on sale. Because I'm guessing around December, but I will do a quick look up here. Okay, we're already past the date. Wamper had gone on sale on November 2nd and ran till December 31st. So I feel like, yeah, we're definitely a little late. I think the ending date will be the same though. So I am almost going to guess that pet may be on the store this week sometime. Yeah. I think it's going to be fairly close. And yeah. I gotta say though, Wamper was definitely the best charity pet ever. They've done a few in the past. And yeah, Wampers. I don't know if any pet is ever gonna beat Wamper. Wamper, I just fell in love with Wamper right away. Like I have him as a pet in game, and I have him as a pet on my shelf. So yeah, he was definitely worth the purchase. Okay, so next up in news, we have the Lightning Forged Augment Rune. So many of you guys are probably holding on to Battle Scarred Augment Runes. They vanish on use. The Lightning Forged Augment Rune is a permanent version of it. And it is a little on the pricey side, but it's not 5 million gold, so that's good, right? But to get your hands on this augment rune, it will cost you 50,000. However, keep in mind it is permanent, so you will no longer have to worry about farming battle-scarred augment runes at all. You can just use this every hour. And it, as far as stats, it's exactly the same. The battle scarred augment is also 60 for 1 hour, just it vanishes. That's really the only difference. So permanent version, augment rune. Next up, there's a new mount that was discovered. It won't be available quite yet because it is PTR news. But it is the Clutch of Haley. I'm not sure if you guys remember my video of the Clutch of Jakun that I had finally gotten. I'll link that in the description, but it looks like that, except it's a different color. So how you would get the Clutch of Haley is out in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. When you're doing all that shit, there's a rare NPC that spawns, and his name is Haley. As for the drop rate, it's currently unknown exactly what the percentage of the drop rate on this mount is. However, the drop rate is being compared to Arachnoid Harvester, so it would be similar to that one. And as for spawn times, he seems to spawn between the, we'll say 35 to 40 minute mark. Now, there is one thing that will bug some people. However, this is something they may fix when the patch goes live. But currently in the PTR, basically when you go to attack him, he is tagged to your faction. So if Alliance attacks first, Horde gets nothing. They gotta wait for the respawn. So it's not a shared faction kill. So yeah. And that is with war mode on or off. So hopefully they do change that for the live version. I don't see why they wouldn't change it. I'm not even totally sure why it works that way in the PTR. But just thought I'd put it out there just in case it doesn't get changed. You know, that is how it's working right now. Okay, so that is all the news I have for you guys for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. As for goals, I do have some goals. So, of course, our big, huge goal is the 5 million. So, that is going to be a goal that we are going to run until Shadowlands launch date. So that's definitely not a weekly goal. And I will put that at the end of the video stating that it's a goal that's running for months. I have actually spent a ton of money lately because I buy a lot of world drop type stuff to complete my transmog collections and, random profession patterns that I don't have because I must have everything, even if it's not even an achievement. One of my biggest goals right now that I've been going towards casually, I guess we'll say, is to have nothing listed in the not learnt section when you open up your professions. Yeah, I'm trying to get all those old patterns that didn't drop for me back in the day. So yeah, to say the least, our money isn't what it shows on this screen. I've spent probably roughly 200,000 within the past week on random crap. So we gotta definitely stop spending money. That's like a for sure thing. So my money value right now, the total money I have is 150,000. I know it's super low. I usually have like 500,000 to $1 million regularly. So it's been really odd lately having such low money. And it's been like that all of BFA because I've been so unmotivated to do most things in this expansion. But we will bring that up. So what we're going to do for this goal so that you guys can also see how I'm doing, which may be bad, who knows? Like, I don't know. And yes, I know. Normally I am so positive with goals I make. I realize I'm not totally positive with this one, and it's just because 5 mil is a lot when you have a life, basically. Like if you have a life, 5 million gold within that time frame is a lot, and I'm unsure that I can dedicate that time. Because think of it like this. The minimum needs to be 20K per day. What if, I don't know, let's take Christmas, for example. What if I don't log on for like 3 days? I've lost out on 60K. So the next time I log on, I need to earn 80K that day to catch up, right? So it's shit like that. Like, I've already predicted that I'm gonna need to buy at least a couple of tokens, So, because really, the days you don't make 20K, you're gonna have to buy a token to make up for that shit, right? So, either or, Blizzard will get something out of you, but unless you don't have a life. Because then you can sit there and make the gold. But yeah, it's a lot of work. So, but the way I see it is it's better than forking out $500, right? You gold grind as much as you possibly can. Don't buy it until last minute, and then you're spending as little as possible on the tokens, And if you happen to raise, 5 mil, that's great too. Just, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You gotta be working the auction house like crazy. Gotta be on all the time. Like your best bet is to luck out and find some of those rare mounts out in BFA. But then I'm bad with that shit because I'm a mount collector. So if I find one and I didn't have it, I'm going to learn it. I'm not going to go sell it for the, 300,000 or whatever it's selling for. Like, I'll learn it. So I'm not great with that one. I'm more like the gathering profession, because anything I don't have, I would never give away first. I'll only ever give away duplicates. So yeah. As for this week's goals is I want to level some alts, because Dark Moon will give us even more of an extra buff. And leveling alts is probably going to be maybe one of my missions throughout the anniversary, since that buff does exist. So level some alts, and I want to knock out a +10 for the mythics. And that is it. That is all my goals. All my anniversary stuff is done, so I'm kind of caught up with that. So yeah, those will be the weekly goals. Okay, so that is it for today's video for WoW Weekly. I hope you enjoyed. Leave your comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are on a lot of this stuff. Obviously, the biggest topic here was the auction house mount. I just wanted to let you guys know that it is... it's not leaving permanently, but it's going to the black market auction house, which is not an easy find. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. And also, good luck if you are going to have the same goal as I do here with the 5 mil. And I hope you get your mount. And that concludes today's video. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.